reboot, invent, new reset.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Downtown Seattle Association Board Chair Jack McCullough.
Good morning, everybody. I can see we're a particularly unruly crowd this morning. Good morning and welcome to the Downtown Seattle Association's sold-out 1,200-person State of Downtown Economic Forum. We set a record this year. We sold out 3 weeks in advance. Whether you came here today from South Lake Union, the waterfront, SoDo, or Capitol Hill, whichever direction, you notice the change emerging all around us. We're swimming in this change. From Amazon's explosive growth, to the expansion of our streetcar and light rail systems, to the redevelopment of our waterfront, we're at the birth of a big reset that will transform downtown Seattle for generations to come. It is the theme of our program today. As we embark on these and other projects, we ask ourselves, how do we ensure that our public spaces are inviting, that they're vibrant, and that they're the best they can be? And how is this important to our economic development downtown? You'll hear more about this shortly. But we'd also like to hear from you. So for those of you who are on Twitter, the 6 or 7 of you, please feel free to share your thoughts on our Twitter stream throughout today's program at #BigResetSEA. But before I begin, I'd like to recognize our generous sponsors, our partners and elected officials who are with us here this morning. Please join me in thanking our presenting sponsor, Lane Powell. Our platinum sponsors, CenturyLink, Schwabe, Williamson and Wyatt, and Urban Visions. And thank you to our gold sponsors. I'm going to read them all: Callison, Kleiss Properties, Goodman Real Estate, Home Street Bank, McCullough Hill Leary, Metzler Real Estate, Share Builder 401k by Capital One, Venture General Contracting, and Washington Holdings. Thank you all. A couple more thanks here. We want to thank our media partners at Cairo Radio 97.3 FM, the Seattle Channel, and the Seattle Times. And finally, I'd like to recognize our community partners, the City of Seattle's Office of Economic Development, Friends of Waterfront Seattle, the Metropolitan Improvement District's Market Research Team, and the Seattle Parks Foundation. Please help me thank all of our sponsors, as well as our partners, exhibitors, and corporate table hosts. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, I want to give a special welcome to the elected officials here today and ask that they stand to be recognized and remain standing as I read their names. Please hold your applause until we get through the list. First of all, King County Executive Dow Constantine, County Assessor Lloyd Hara, Seattle Port Commissioner Stephanie Bowman, Seattle City Council members Sally Bagshaw, Tim Burgess, Sally Clark, Mike O'Brien, Tom Rasmussen. Thank all of you for being with us today. And last on our list of elected officials, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage for a few words the new mayor of the City of Seattle, the Honorable Ed Murray.
Well, good morning. I was talking to Congressman Derek Kilmer the other day, and we were trying to decide how long we could use the Seahawks as a punchline in our speeches. So this is the last time. Go Hawks. So I've had the honor for the last 18 years to represent downtown Seattle in the legislature, and it's an incredible honor to work with you as your mayor. I think of downtown I think back to when I was a kid in the late 50s and 60s, when downtown was vibrant, the Bon Marché, Frederick and Nelson's, and of course my favorite store because I'm retail challenged, Woolworths. And then I think of the trouble of downtown, and then you think a little more, and the leadership of people like Norm Rice and Martha Cho, and the creation of Pacific Place, the opening up of the downtown core, and what's come since then. We are also at another crossroads in downtown. The challenges that downtown faces are the challenges that every city, every neighborhood in this city face. Can we make downtown safe? Can we make the economy grow and also deal with those who are most in need? Can we make it a neighborhood that is livable, a neighborhood that has the amenities of every neighborhood in this city? Those are the challenges before us. And I can tell you that this administration and this city government and the city council are ready to partner with all of you to make downtown not just a showcase, but our living room, a living room for the whole city and an example for the whole nation. That is our pledge to work with you as we go forward. We also have an opportunity and a challenge, and that is the Central Waterfront. If we don't get this right, we will lose an opportunity for this generation, and much of what we hope for the center of this city, we will also lose. So we have a choice. We can either point fingers or we can work together to solve problems. I pledge that I want to work together and solve problems. And we can and if we work together, and if we partner with each other, and if we don't point fingers, we can solve the challenge of the Central Waterfront, and we can move this city forward. So let's get to work. Thank you very much.
Indeed, we are looking forward to the next 4 years. You know, we spend most of our days at work and at home, engaged in our common enterprises and our family life. We love our families and we enjoy our colleagues, but there is in this city an extraordinary richness in the space between them. It's this space between work and home, in our streets, in our parks, in our public spaces and plazas here downtown, where we find our best opportunities for touching new people, for civic engagement, for unexpected gifts and giving. At their best, there is surprise and vibrancy in these public places and the power to touch our souls. It is why we live in this city and how this city lives in us. We have created great spaces downtown, Westlake Park, Steinbrook, and Freeway Park, Occidental Square, but we neglect them, and then we avoid them, and then we are discouraged at what they've become. We know how to build great public spaces, but then we lose them. And the tools, the strategies we have used in our efforts to rescue them have failed. We're here today to talk about new strategies. Today we have an impressive group of speakers who will examine the benefits of great public spaces in urban centers and new strategies for making ours here in downtown Seattle the best they can be. Today we'll hear from DSA President and CEO Kate Jonkis with her annual State of Downtown address. And our speakers include Shannon Nickel of Guthrie Nickel, who will present an exciting new design for the Pike Pine Corridor, one of DSA's strategic initiatives. But first, I invite you to pay close attention to our keynote speaker, Dan Biederman. He is co-founder of New York's Grand Central Partnership, the 34th Street Partnership, and the Chelsea Improvement Company. And importantly, he also co-founded the Bryant Park Restoration Corporation, which is one of the largest efforts in the nation to apply private management backed by private funding to a public park. Dan's work transformed Bryant Park from a poorly maintained drug haven to a national model for the design, the activation, and the management of a successful urban park. Dan has served as a consultant to so many other cities, to Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Miami, and Portland in their efforts to reinvent their public spaces and their downtowns. It is our great pleasure to know that today we can add Seattle to that list. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Biederman.